7 days to exactly half a year. This 2023, that's how fast things are moving. All right, thank you very much for choosing to begin your day with us right here on our Lookuptv. My name is Simba Elijah Charles Abugachiage. We are online on Lookuptv across all your social media platforms. I am at Kiage Simba. By the way, our website is live at www.lookuptv.co.ke. Some of the stories that we're going to talk about today, some of the bigger conversations that we're going to get into are also covered in depth on our website as well. So once you're there, check it out. Should we meet on our social media platforms? It will be important for you to give us a like and a subscription, if you may. This morning, I'll be the only captain steering the ship. I don't know where Katani Ian is this morning. Wasn't told where he's at. All right, there's just a lot that we have to go through this morning. And what the country is talking about now is the Finance Bill 2023, which is essentially going to inform the budget document 2023-2024. Now, for those who know, that is exactly next month. The week-long period for public participation started yesterday, and we've seen a couple of agencies across the country meet with the budget making committee at the National Assembly that just to give in their views on exactly what they think the pain points are in that particular document. What we do know is the civil service unions have already made their threat stay, in the sense that if indeed the tax proposals in that particular document see the light of the day, the majority of them are going to go to the streets. That's exactly what they've said, but we're going to see whether indeed this would come to fruition, because indeed a lot of conversations have really started around the housing fund. The president has made himself clear that this is here to stay, that we got to make sacrifices now if indeed we're going to see a proper future. That's according to the president. Some of the taxes that have been proposed in that particular document are already taking effect. Now, fuel, which as we do know is on a record time high in the country, as we do know, with diesel going for 168, petrol going for 182, 185, upwards of where you're getting it from, is already been exposed to an additional 8% VAT, which means that it's now going to go all the way up to 16% VAT. The knock-on effect in the country, as we do expect, is going to be a rise in the cost of commodities. This morning, it is proper to report that indeed with the rising fuel prices in the country, a loaf of bread, and we're talking about 400 grams, a loaf of bread goes for 70 shillings from 60 shillings almost a week ago. That is on the back of the rise in transport costs, which is essentially then the rise in the cost of fuel, and also the rise in the cost of sugar. Now, we do know that a 2 kg packet of sugar will start from 413 all the way up to 420, and those prices have been also called to stay probably in the next 1 to 2 months before international sugar prices stabilize. That in the case that then international sugar prices are going to stabilize, then indeed the cost of fuel, if indeed the budget proposals in this particular document, that's the Finance Bill 2023, see the light of the day, we might have a stay in those prices. Now, a 500 grams packet of milk is going for 65 shillings from 60 a week ago, and that essentially goes to show you exactly where the country then is pointing toward. That even if the country or the government indeed says that they're working to reduce the cost of living, the taxes that have been proposed in that particular document, the way in which the government then is focusing on addressing those issues is essentially going to negate that particular conversation for reducing the cost of living. That is what we do expect then to go on in this particular conversation. Again, as you do know, NHIF, NSSF has been proposed to increase as well, with the president saying that he has a plan for turning around the health sector in the country, and the conversations around him taking the health sector docket back to the national government has rattled county bosses, the 47 of them, with some of them coming saying they are going to oppose that plan vehemently of the president wanting to take the health sector back to the national government. Other conversations that you're waking up to this morning is how the registrar of political parties has received the proposals then that were put in place by the just concluded NDC Jubilee party meeting that was led by one retired president, Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. Now there's a whole lot of confusion as to who indeed owns Jubilee and who indeed leads the Jubilee party. We do have one side led by Sabina Chege and Kanini Kega, and we do have Jeremiah Kioni and Murade on the other side as well, tabled all led by one retired President Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta, and the government also getting represented by Dr. President William Ruto. There's just a lot indeed that we're going to look at this morning as well. That particular story is exactly what has been covered heavily, by the way, also on our website. This morning, there's a www.lookuptv.co.ke. Once you have time, indeed, jump into it, look at it, and then after that, we get to talk about it. Also now, there are news about how Safaricom, a company whose profits have been declining and its stand on the Mobile Securities Exchange has been declining as well. If you look at it, they're now talking about how they have a plan to set up a smartphone factory. Bad advice by how their top line has also been declining in terms of the revenue sources. There are a lot of companies that are, I would say, clobbering on that national cake that Safaricom has been enjoying for quite a time in the country now. You would say 10 years plus. Talking about the till system, the pay bill system within the country, and also the internet services and voice calls within the country that have been declining over time. Now here's the thing, if you look at how M-Pesa revenues have been going, you will say indeed they've been increasing. If you say March 2022 to March 2023, you talk about 117.2 billion. That's how you look at it. Also voice now has been declining. Mobile data has shot up. Messaging has shot up. Incoming mobile calls have decreased, and the mobile services have essentially increased, and other revenue has also dropped. That's how you look at it. So if you look at where they are in terms of the total revenue, it increased to 310.9 billion. But in terms of profitability, then you will say that the top line has been reducing right there at Safaricom. Now, you're ready to receive a Safaricom handset? We're going to see exactly how that goes as well. Other stories that essentially we've been following up throughout this particular weekend, we're going to talk about this morning on a heavy draft, is the rising numbers at the Shakahola story that continues. But it doesn't have an end. The only thing that has been stopped is the inquiry that the court stopped. Until then, total findings are essentially come from that particular property. Developing story being that indeed Pastor Mackenzie did not own that property. Now, it's up to you and then make a judgment of exactly what that is. But for us, we shall be keeping a tabs on it and reporting it to you when and how we have it. All right, that's our outlook this morning, or how we start this morning. For now, we take a tiny breather. Once we come back, then we'll be jumping straight into your dailies this morning, so that I could get to tell you what it is that you are waking up to this morning briefly before we get started this morning. All right, let's begin with the Standard this morning. The bigger headline here is about how then the party politics within Jubilee are played out over the past couple days. And they're calling it an end game of Uhuru Party's brutal battle. All right, now the Jubilee walls are turning nasty, and Uhuru Kenyatta has jumped right in the middle. What happens if this faction wins or loses, and why is it a fight to the wire for the former head of state? That story has been covered on pages 4 and 5 of of the Standards. And here's the thing. Let me just take you to a couple of sentiments that have been expressed by majority of the onlookers in what is an in-party battle now. And this is what Ngujiri Wambugu, that is former Nyeri Town Member of Parliament, is saying, that he has no idea on the way forward for Jubilee. He should retire because it's making us look bad, especially those that fought on his behalf. All right, Nduwati Ngugi, former Gatanga Member of Parliament, Jubilee Party had initiated grassroots meetings quietly, and this was a major threat to this administration. We are a force to reckon with. All right, that's Professor Gitile Naituli from Multimedia University is saying that this will mean that Gachagua will be relegated to fight for his political say in Mount Kenya region as he wrestles with Uhuru Kenyatta. By the way, this particular conversation, we did have it this week. A majority, yesterday, not even this week, majority of the political analysts that we've spoken to, members of parliament, saying, well, it's a fight for relevance and who the kingpin for Mount Kenya is going to be. And that's why Uhuru Kenyatta then is seemingly back in this battle. As analysts believe Uhuru will soil his name in the event he loses Jubilee contest, and former member of parliament says that Uhuru's move was ill-informed and will be of no political consequence, right? If indeed then this was going to be a setup for the Jubilee party direction, we really have to wait up to 2027 to see exactly what impact this is going to have in the next coming general election. That's way far from here. You would say even 4+ years now. And indeed, that's the year that they'll be seeking another term in office, and who becomes kingpin in the Mount Kenya region is essentially what we are going to wait and see, who has a say in that particular region. That story has been covered extensively on pages 4 and 5 of the Daily National. Here's the thing, tribunal, here's the thing, this is according to Jeremiah Kioni, who's the Jubilee Secretary General, and you got to read into that political story there, that we will call for demonstrations. We urge our supporters to come out in support of the party. That's what Jeremiah Kioni said. But indeed now, a tribunal essentially did stop the expulsion of Kioni and Murathe from Jubilee, because you did see exactly what Kanini Kyaga and Sabina Chege then did. They did expel these two, but the registrar of, that is the Political Parties Dispute Tribunal chairperson, Desmond Nungo, essentially just put that on hold until then this particular issue goes all the way to the registrar of political parties who are going to have the final say in it. And this is what they said: the former ruling Jubilee Party is in shambles. Its party leader and President Uhuru Kenyatta is under siege. Now, two groups are claiming ownership, one expelled in others official, and vice versa. And we've seen how the just concluded NDC also did expel a couple of members from the party, all the way from Sabina Chege and then Kanini Kyaga as well. That essentially then would mean that now we are looking at limbo. That's why the Political Parties Dispute Tribunal chairperson, Desmond Nungo, essentially just stopped the expulsion of Murathe and Jeremiah Kioni. Until then, this issue is settled by the registrar of political parties. I will tell you that, isn't it? Now, what we've seen again is how that's the big story that we're looking at there. Also on pages 8 of the Standard, we're going to look at this story of how schools have been hit by high cost of food and goods. That story has been covered on page 8. Also on page 10 of the Standard is how now the farm that was essentially involved in sexual scandals in the country essentially has halted operations in the country. That story has been then taken all the way to page 10. And you will know that indeed they changed ownership, they sold it, that the Finlay was sold and then rebranded, and now that particular one has essentially stopped. The story again that was covered heavily on our website on how the chief registrar, all right, Anna Amadi, is fighting back the 102 shillings million gold scam. She's already said that she stopped dealing in it. That story again has been covered on a page 3. In fact, the big takeaway from this one is how she talks about how she resigned from the involved law firm in 2014. Now, Amadi wants court to lift order to that froze her personal accounts pending investigations into that particular claim. As the Chief Registrar of Judiciary, Anna Amadi, denying involvement in a 102 million shillings gold scandal. All right. That's the outlook for the Standard this morning now. For those who like sports, then you will know that indeed the EPL is at an all-time relegation fight. 3 teams now, as we do know of it, actually 4. Everton has 33 points, Leicester City has 31 points, Leeds United has 31 points, and Southampton has 24 points. The 3 of them, Everton, Leicester, and Leeds United, are essentially in the fight for relegation, and if indeed the last match is going to be a decider, because if Everton doesn't win the last match, then that means they fall into relegation battle with Leicester City and Leeds United tied at 31 points apiece. Southampton is already out. 3 of them await the last day matches. Top 4 is already decided, if you say that. We're just going to see exactly how it goes. All right, let's look at the Daily Nation as well. Same stories that have been covered on the Daily Nation as well this morning on who owns. Wow. Let me take a glass of water. Wow. Yes, on who owns Jubilee. All right. Confusion along on Monday, former President Kenyatta's camp seemed to have finally had its way in the long-running battle for control of Jubilee, but all that changed yesterday in a day of many twists as the party's registrar and disputes tribunal weighed in on the bitter row, albeit conflictingly, all right, throwing party leadership and identity of Israel officials up in the air. Yep, that's them. We'll be talking about this as well. We do know that the Kenya Kwanza camp, essentially, that they're in it, you will say that they're in it, is led by one Sabina Chege and Kanini Kega, and the Azimio La Umoja faction then will be led by one Murade and Jeremiah Kioni. That's the same story that's been covered here. Now, again, the only different story on page 5 of the Daily Nation is how bipartisan talks in limbo now as Raila team withdraws government side and cites lack of goodwill. All right, that's according to the Azimio coalition. Read that story on page 5 of the Daily Nation. Yep, that story on the 16,000 jobs that are online as stiff farmers halted operations after farm invasion, again, has been covered on page 14 of the Daily Nation. And now, Ruto has nominated Mary Chebukati as Revenue Commission chairperson. Yeah, that's former, was the wife of former IBC chairperson Wafula Chebukati. All right, is now to chair the Commission on Revenue Allocation, CRA. Ms. Wanyonyi, if approved by Parliament, will take over from Dr. Jane Kiringai, who has completed a 6-year term at the helm of the CRA. That's exactly how. That's a new appointment that Kenyans are waking up to this morning. Good. On that particular note, then we do not have other stories that have been covered on the Daily Nation that are different from what we touched on the Standard. We take a tiny breather. Once we come back, I'll be taking you straight to the newsroom so we can get to look at top stories that you're waking up to this morning. All right, welcome back. Now, the confusion and wrangles within the Jubilee party continue to fly high as the tribunal reinstated embattled Jubilee Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni, Vice Chairman David Murade, and Treasurer Kagwe Gichohi to their party leadership positions. The move comes just days after the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties confirmed their expulsion. Let's take a look.
For the Jubilee Secretary General Jeremiah Kioni, Vice Chairperson David Murade, and Treasurer Kagwe Gishohi after a tribunal reinstated them to their party leadership positions. The move comes just days after Registrar of Political Parties Anne Deritu confirmed their expulsion from the party. The three were expelled on the 19th by the Jubilee Party faction, allied to Iala MP Kanini Kega, for what they termed was gross misconduct and non-adherence to party rules and the constitution. In the ruling, the Political Parties Dispute Tribunal has dealt a major blow to Nderitu's decision to recognize the Kanini Kega faction by suspending the party's NDC resolution of May 10, 2023, during which the three were suspended as members of the Jubilee Party. The ruling reads, and I quote, "Pending the hearing and determination of the application filed by Kioni, inter partes interim conservatory orders are hereby issued staying the decision delivered by the Jubilee Party National Disciplinary Committee on May 10, 2023 to expel Murathe, Kioni and Gishohi from membership of the party." The Desmanungo Tribunal further stops Nderitu from acting on the decision of the Jubilee NDC to expel the three top officials from its membership list. Interim conservatory orders are hereby issued prohibiting the Registrar of Political Parties from acting on any communication from the Jubilee Party and its NDC purporting to expel them from the membership of the party. The tribunal's order was issued on May 22nd, while the registrar acted on the NDC's resolution and ratified the expulsion on May 19th, 2 days earlier.
The ruling from the court on this, what they are doing is here, that pending the hearing and determination of the application inter partes, interim conservatory orders are hereby issued, staying the decision delivered by the first respondents here Kutoa. So that has already been stayed. Again, it goes to the paragraph 6 saying, pending the hearing and determination of the application inter partes, interim conservatory orders are hereby issued now to the registrar of political parties from acting on any communication from the first respondent and interested party purporting to expel the applicant from the membership of the party. So the orders are already here. Yes, orders have been issued.
According to the tribunal, Kioni, Murathe and Gishohi will remain in office until May 31st, when their complaint will be heard. The Kioni faction had petitioned the tribunal while challenging their removal from the party following their ouster. They are seeking to be officially restored into the Jubilee Party leadership. They argue that the decision to oust them, done by the Jubilee Disciplinary Committee on May 10th, was flawed and illegal.
We have also gone to the court to ask the court to tell us what is the work of the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties. On numerous number of occasions, she has been asked to publish the officials of Jubilee, but she has always refused. And the question was, why? You are the keeper of records. And as a keeper of records, you should be telling the public what is contained in your records, not what will be contained in your records next year. It is what is contained in your records, and she has been avoiding to do that.
The NDC decision on May 10th was followed by a ruling by the tribunal that the party had not exhausted all internal dispute resolution mechanisms when it decided to kick them out. The tribunal had referred the matter back to the party after saying that it was not convinced that the Jubilee NDC meeting held on February 10th, 2023 in Naivasha was properly convened. During the Naivasha meeting, Kioni was replaced by Kega, who was appointed acting Secretary General, while Eldas MP Adan Kainan was appointed National Vice Chairperson to replace Murathe. Gishohi was replaced by Kitui South MP Rachel Nyamai. On Monday, during the Jubilee NDC at Ngong Racecourse, Nairobi, the party decided to kick out the faction led by Kanini Kega. The Political Parties Dispute Tribunal's decision, issued on May 22nd, is likely to add the confusion at the former ruling party in an ownership war. Brian Amoai, Lookuptv.
The Registrar of Political Parties, Anna Nderitu, has formally reiterated that her office has nothing to do with the internal wrangles facing Jubilee Party. Nderitu has further noted that she is committed to work in accordance with the Constitution, and Jubilee Party is capable of resolving its disputes independently. Samia Dika with more details.
Minutes after a section of Jubilee members accused the Registrar of Political Parties for taking sides in the disputes facing their political party, the Chief Registrar, Nderitu, was quick to rubbish off the claims.
Do not make decisions for political parties. It's political parties that sit down, come up with decisions. What we do is to regulate the manner in which that is done, so that those decisions are then following their party constitution and they are following the Political Parties Act and other law.
The issue of expelling Jeremiah Kioni and David Murathe as members of Jubilee Party seemed not to hold waters, as the office noted that it acted in accordance with the constitutional requirements.
We received the order today. The order was served to us today. We were not aware that there were orders, but the decision about the removal of the members was made on Friday. So to us, we have not acted against the law because we made the decision before the orders. So let's leave it as a court process from there, what the court will say and determine.
The ball now seems to have been thrown to the Jubilee members' court, as they are required to settle their disputes without outside interference.
We do not make decisions for the party on whom they want to stay with and whom they want to remove, or whom they want to make this change from this position to this other position.
However, the Kanini Kega-led meeting held in February this year seemed to have carried the day, as the registrar noted it was conducted in accordance to the law as compared to the meeting held on 28th April 2023.
The meeting of 28th lacked quorum, and because of that, the resolutions made in that meeting, therefore, false, doesn't stand. The meeting that took place in Nakuru, we looked at it. In terms of quorum, yes, it had quorum, because we had over, how many people? I think 21.
With the Office of the Registrar of Political Parties now insisting that the parties must follow the laid-down regulations, the question that begs, what will be the fate of former President Uhuru Kenyatta's led faction, and what is Jubilee Party's future? Samedika, Lookuptv, Nairobi.
Well, the Azimio has suspended the ongoing bipartisan talks, citing unwillingness by the Ruto's-led Kenya Kwanza party to cede grounds on some issues. Among the issues being raised by Otiende Amolo-led team is that the Azimio wants non-interference on the Jubilee party on retender now files.
And as an interim measure, we requested that we communicate on suspension of the ongoing selection of the IEBC commissioners as an interim issue. And on the fourth issue was the question of interference with constituent political parties among the two coalitions. And as an interim measure last week, we requested that there be a cessation of invasion of the consequent parties, particularly the Jubilee party. Today we've had lengthy discussions, we also had them last week, on the four issues that we had requested. Our colleagues have refused to concede to any of those interim measures, which has led us to the conclusion that they are not negotiating in good faith. Because if you are negotiating in good faith, there can be no harm in preserving the status of what is there, pending inquiry substantively. That as long as we are having honest bipartisan talks in good faith, we would persuade our principals to cease any form of mandamano as long as the talks were on, and we made that offer. We also indicated that we would talk to our principals and we would persuade them and ourselves to cease any talk that would undermine these bipartisan talks. We were willing to concede to those two. They were not willing to concede to any in terms of our request, which has led us to conclude that we will get nowhere, even with the substantive issues, that our colleagues are not negotiating in good faith. That, together with the fact that their team, in terms of the subcommittee on IBC, was not ready, has caused us to invoke our framework agreement. You are all in possession of our framework agreement. It contemplates such a situation where there's a fundamental disagreement. If you look at clause 37, it says in the event of irreconcilable differences on a fundamental or core issue identified under this clause, the talks may be suspended for 7 days by written notice by either chairperson, provided that the talks may resume before the expiry of the 7 days if the parties reach consensus. In our opinion, refusal to concede to any of these interim measures, which look logical to us, means then that we have irreconcilable difference on a fundamental issue. And we've chosen to invoke Article 37. We've already done the notice as the co-chair, suspending these talks for 7 days until and unless our principles or ourselves, we might then reach a different conclusion. Because we believe that if we go this way, then we are giving false hope to Kenyans, and there's no reason to do that.
Azimio leader Raila Odinga has asked the government not to intervene and provide a permanent solution to the issue of flooding in Budalangi area in Busia County. Raila was speaking during an exercise to distribute food to flood victims in Budalangi area. The Azimio leaders also said the coalition will strongly oppose any proposal to increase taxes levied on Kenyans.
Speaking at Nyarodera Market in Usonga, Siaya County, Raila lamented that the Kenya Kwanza government was influencing the registrar of political parties to register a group led by Kanini Kega and Sabina Chege as the officials of Jubilee Party in an effort to lock out validly elected party officials led by former President Uhuru Kenyatta.
That the government of Mr. Ruto should not interfere in the running of political parties. Political parties must be allowed to conduct their affairs independently without interference from the state. This is a warning from Azimio la Umoja One Kenya coalition.
Odinga saying that Azimio la Umoja One Kenya will not take the state interference in its affiliate parties lying down.
We will not accept interference by the government in the running of affairs of parties that are in an Azimio coalition. We therefore urge the registrar to move with speed and register the new officials of Jubilee Party, prior to which there will be consequences.
Addressing the occasion, Busia Governor Paul Otuoma and Budalangi MP Raphael Wanjala called for a lasting solution to the perennial floods in the region.
Na ile tu kitu mimi nataka kusema Jacob. Hii watu vile umetembea hata juu na ndege, ukiangalia hizi shida za hapa Usonga, Siaya, Budalangi, shida yetu ni moja tu. Hii maji ikiwa controlled, dams ziwekwe vizuri, hii watu watapata chakula mingi ya kulisha hii Kenya.
Sisi tunakulana hapa na nyinyi kitu. Basi sasa tumekuja kuwatembelea na kuwapigia pole kwa sababu ya mafuriko. Hii shida tunayo, mtu atatatua tu hii shida yetu, lazima tupate rais kutoka upande wetu huku. Wale tunapata kutoka huko, wanachukua pesa wanapeleka mahali, maji haiwasumbui, na hata hiyo pesa kama Kimwarer na Aroru wanaiba. Sasa wamekula hiyo pesa, tena bado wanaweka huko pesa, na huku watu wetu wanahangaika. Ndio lazima tusimame ngangari, tuunge baba mkono. Na Mswahili anasema masikini hachoki, akichoka ashapata. Sisi hatujapata, hatutachoka.
Audrey Cherotich, Lookuptv.
The court has declined to suspend orders to freeze bank accounts belonging to Chief Registrar of Judiciary Ann Amadi and that of a law firm associated with her over 100 million shillings gold scandal. Amadi, through her lawyer, Ochengo Dual, called for the order to be withdrawn, saying it was prejudicial and that it will therefore result into her financial embarrassment. Justice David Majanja, who issued the order, however, declined to lift the orders, saying he is convinced that Amadi was not practicing as an advocate. The matter will be taken before presiding judge for further directions. All right, let's move on to the next story this morning of President William Ruto today morning. That was actually yesterday morning. Led the Kenya Kwanza Parliamentary Group meeting at State House, Nairobi. Azian Kisani now files. The meeting was convened ahead of the tabling of the Finance Bill 2023 in the National Assembly, which has caused uproar among Kenyans.
State House, Nairobi, and for the 6th time since taking over reins of power, President William Ruto hosted Kenya Kwanza allied members of parliament and senators for parliamentary group meeting.
We will continuously be a house that consults so that together we can share on ideas and we can have suggestions and we can persuade one another. And finally, we all agree that as Democrats, a good idea must always give way to a better one.
The President convened the meeting just days before both houses of parliament resume its sittings, with the Finance Bill 2023 set to be tabled in the National Assembly. As President Ruto continues to campaign for the Finance Bill, most recently during his address to the country, civil societies and the opposition continue to call for the rejection of the bill by members of parliament in totality, with Odinga threatening to return to the streets for the anti-government demonstrations if the bill goes through.
This bill remains a big no and no. There is unanimity over its rejection. It's our position that this bill does not qualify as a just tax system. Yes, the country is ripe for tax reform, but this is not one of them.
An increase of VAT rate on petroleum products from the current 8% to the proposed standard rate of 16% is opposed. We note that an increased rate of VAT on petroleum products would increase the cost of production and worsen the current state of the high cost of living. Lifting of VAT exemptions could increase the cost of business, which could cause layoffs.
The meeting comes barely a week after Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua, while addressing party officials at Western Hotel, entered the party aiming to rule the country for years to come, with a target of 15 million membership by the year 2027. During the meeting, Dr. Ruto lauded the legislators for the approval of key bills crucial to the implementation of his agenda in both houses of parliament.
I am truly grateful on behalf of the executive for your support in all the items that we have already sent to the floor of parliament. All the matters that we have sent there, whether they are legislation, whether they are names for approval, or indeed any other matter that we have sent your way, I appreciate that you have always been there to work with us so that we can ensure that we run the affairs of the Republic of Kenya together.
The parliamentary group meeting was also attended by elected Jubilee members of parliament, despite being hosted in yesterday's National Delegate Conference by the Uhuru Kenyatta-led faction as the battle for the leadership of the party rages on. Ian Keitani, Lookuptv.
Embattled Siaya Deputy Governor William Oduol is facing mounting pressure over looming impeachment. This comes after First Assembly MCA Gordana Onguru filed an impeachment motion against the Deputy Governor following calls for impeachment by Siaya County residents. Let's take a look.
As the storm gathers momentum, Siaya's Deputy Governor William Oduol has found himself trapped under mounting pressure over looming impeachment. Discontent was unleashed when East Assembly MCA Gordana Onguru filed an impeachment motion aimed at tackling Oduol, a dissatisfaction strongly echoed by Siaya County residents.
So we are asking our son, the Deputy Governor, first to respect Mr. Governor of Siaya County. If you don't want to respect, you better resign, or else we will force you to resign. And to the members of the County Assembly, our MCS, we are requesting, if Oduol cannot come down, if Oduol cannot apologize to his boss, we are asking you to, as soon as tomorrow, or as soon as possible, you table the motion of impeachment, and Oduol will be impeached from that seat.
Speaker, taking note that under provisions of Standing Order number 72, I, Paul Gordana Onguru, a duly elected member of the County Assembly of Siaya representing East Assembly Ward, propose to move a motion for the impeachment of William Oduol, the Deputy Governor of Siaya, for 1, gross violation of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 and other laws, and 2, abuse of...
I want to tell everybody that we are here to advise our son, Wanudol Denge, to respect order, to respect authority, to respect the value and the dignity of peace, and working together in harmony so that we realize our development goals. Otherwise, I don't have much to say, but I want to tell people that whatever Wanudol is talking about is his own making. It is not a message from the people of Kadenge.
Meanwhile, Unguja Member of Parliament has implored Odwol to relinquish his grip on power, urging him to step aside and grant Governor Orengo the freedom to anoint a new deputy. Odwol, driven by a torrent of grievances, has sought refuge in exposing a web of corruption, office abuse, and a catalogue of irregularities plaguing Siaya County government, a move that has only served to deepen the fissure between him and his embittered boss. David Alex, Lookuptv.
A story by David Alex then brings us to the end of our Morning Drift news this morning. Today is Wednesday, right here on the Morning Drift. The bigger conversation this morning is going to be engaging young people in the country as we look at exactly what is ailing relationships. Now, if we look at the Economic Survey Report 2023, 45 to 50% of new marriages end up in divorce. 60 to 80% of second marriages, that is after you start again in this country, they end up in divorce. Now, how many households are led by one partner or separated partner? Upwards of 661,000. So kids are growing in families where either the mom or the dad is absent. What factors are we looking at? Now, if you look at prisons, if you look at most of the incarcerated people or males in this country, you'll find that 90% of them have a messed up childhood, and in this unique way, the dad was absent. So the question we're asking this morning then is, who is to blame? Is the traditional woman essentially gone? Because 80% of those divorces that we're talking about are instigated by women. So women are feeling that there is a problem, but men are saying there's no problem. So once we come back, is the traditional woman gone? Right here on the Morning Drift.
Sensei Institute of Technology is the home to the best practical courses, giving you a hands-on experience to handle the world. A place for you to join us, ensure you have your national ID card and be ready to enjoy the ride. Sensei College, my skills, my future.
Hey darling, are we still on for a coffee date?
I'm waiting for you to come and pick me up.
I should be able to pick you in a few.
It's a coffee yogurt date?
It's not just a yogurt, it's royal coffee yogurt.
With the sweet taste of thick and smooth Royal Fresh coffee yogurt. Royal Fresh, the royal taste of freshness.
Today we are hosting the Lotto Foundation as they do a food distribution to the community. The community involves people from Huruma. Huruma is where we have the home for the aged, so quite a population from the home are getting the gift packs. Most of our children come from Githogoro and Huruma. These are informal settlements. Honestly, these parents have not been working. The number of children that will come to me, even the ones who are not in school, and tell me, Mwalimu, we have not fed for 3-4 days, is quite huge. So this will go a long way. A family that has not fed for 3 days, they will at least get a meal. We also thank Lotto. This is the second time that you're coming, and it always makes a difference. It always makes a difference.
Thank you for your help. Together, we are changing lives.
Beautiful, wonderful, glorious. We are having the show that we share entitled Shepherd Voice.
I'm waiting for you to get me to Kenya. That's what I'm waiting
for you.
God is the source of every blessings that flow into your life.
And I know that God is going to bless you and to do a new thing.
Pray, 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 pray.
Why Malindi? Any idea why the A-list celebrities, politicians choose Malindi as a destination? Is it the sandy, spotless white beaches, the rhythmic, relaxing oceanic waves, or is it the great potential investment opportunity that Malindi has to offer? Dagbalans, we are here with a variety of projects from as low as 99,000 shillings. You get an eighth of an acre with ready title deeds. Book your plot today with only 35,000 shillings and get a free return air ticket. Be the next investor in Malindi with Dagbalans. Call us now on 0740 888 111 or 0740 888 222. Dagbalans. We promise, we deliver. Why wait? 20 Malindi.
We as Novena United Circle are a society that is able to provide a platform for business startups by providing financial aid to members and creating a platform to accumulate their savings. We look for small business entrepreneurs who are starting a business venture and provide the best opportunity to expand our business niche and turn it into something big. For more information, call us on 0768 757 956 or WhatsApp us on 0734 832 430. Novena United Circle. Tuungane pamoja.
Michezo na wachezaji, matukio na matokeo uwanjani. Tumejifunga kibwebwe kukuletea mbwembwe, si mazungumzo ya kusisimua. Ndiyo maana safu ya spoti ipo hapa kwa ajili yako. ZFC! Nami hapa nahodha Robert Chacha, si suisui, na kuandalia kipindi bomba cha safu ya spoti kila siku ya Jumamosi kuanzia saa 7:30 ndani ya runinga nambari 1 ya michezo Lookuptv.
Usiwahi cheza na mboga yangu. Na unafuata nani? Usisikuone ukinifuata. Nimekwambia una shares kwa hii kuku.
You got the roof, man. Hebu kwanza rudi ndani ufresh hiyo choo na make sure umespray.
Julie, kwani wewe? Hii tumbo yako mimi najua inaweza ingiza kila kitu. Hata chuma nikishiaga nikupea hata plastic najua utakula. Kwani leo kunaendaje? Kuna kitu sielewi.
Kabisa Mluya. Yaani umeamua kulala uchi.
Sasa kama hakuna ile nguo inanitosha unataka nifanye aje?
Because you are fat.
Sasa ukiongelea mimi ati fat. Na Julie tutasemaje?
Kuja.
Karibu mtazamaji kwenye kipindi cha jamii na itikadi.
Kaini kitako tuna mengi.
Mapenzi yanapoanza watu huitana bebi na majina mengine matamu, lakini baadaye penzi linapogeuka na kuwa shubiri,
mtu anafikia kwenda kumtafuta mke mwingine.
Itakuwaje?
Yule wa kwake nyumbani labda hajamridhisha.
Ni sawa ama vipi Malkia?
Dadangu, wanaume ni kama maembe.
Huyu ni mwanamume atakuja abadiliki.
Mwanaume mwenye wanawake wengi hata katika uchumba, kwenye ndoa ataendelea. Mtu na tabia yake hawachi. Ile umbo la kike likishaanza, kila kitu kishaanza kuwa mahali pake.
Ningependa kukuona.
Sijaenda mahali ambapo mimi nilisikia mtu ati huyu alikuwa shujaa, alikufa katika mstari wa mbele wa ndoa. Sijawahi sikia mimi.
A man, a symbol of strength, power, and leadership. What does it take for a man to meet society expectations of provision and leadership?
Lazima uwe mtu wa bidii, lazima ukija kuoa lazima uwe ni provider, wewe ndio unatoa kila kitu.
In our weekly episode of Born a Man,
kusurvive kwa shule ilikuwa ni noma. Yeah, getting something to eat bado, especially in my last 2 years ilikuwa ngumu sana.
Moving from State House Road to Kahawa Ndani, where they came back to be hosted.
we embark on telling stories of what it takes to become a man in today's society, like it has never been told before.
I know men, we are cowards. Because tunaambiwa watu kufa kimwanaume, that's nonsense.
This is the life of a man.
It's all about trying out fresh meals. As you know, your health comes first. Experience a tasty and sweet aroma in your kitchen today. It's not just about cooking, but also having fun, interesting conversations, keeping it professional, and not forgetting refreshing moments.
Oh, let me tell you, mine is gonna be
The Cook-Off with Alex Karani, Saturdays at 6 p.m.
Siku ya leo tuko katikati ya jiji la Nairobi na tutakuwa tunazungumza haswa kuhusu mswada wa bajeti ambao unapendekezwa na Rais William Ruto.
Kwanza alisema anapunguza mambo
kila kitu, ukienda kwa duka kila siku imepanda.
Jina langu ni Wamba Wahisi na haya ni makala ya bunge la mwenyeji.
Hi and welcome to Tujenge Home. Your #1 show when it comes to all things architecture, real estate, property development, interior design. You get it right here on Tujenge Home. When the food is ready.
You want to serve them?
Dinner is served. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go.
Hey darling, are we still on for our coffee date?
I'm waiting for you to come and pick me up.
I should be able to pick you in a few.
It's a coffee yogurt date?
It's not just a yogurt. It's Royal Coffee Yogurt.
Flow with the sweet taste of thick and smooth Royal Fresh coffee yogurt. Royal Fresh, the royal taste of freshness.
Sensei Institute of Technology is the home to the best practical courses, giving you a hands-on experience to handle the world. A place to build you. For you to join us, ensure you have your national ID card and be ready to enjoy the ride. Sensei College, my skills, my future.
A man, a symbol of strength, power, and leadership. What does it take for a man to meet society expectations of provision and leadership?
Lazima uwe mtu wa bidii, lazima ukija kuoa lazima uwe ni provider, wewe ndio unatoa kila kitu.
In our weekly episode of Born a Man,
Kusurvive kwa shule ilikuwa ni noma. Yeah, getting something to eat bado, especially in my last 2 years ilikuwa ngumu sana.
Moving from State House Road to Kahawa Ndani, where they came back to be hosted.
we embark on telling stories of what it takes to become a man in today's society, like it has never been told before.
I know men, we are cowards. Because tunaambiwa watu wakiiga kufa kimwanaume. Kufa kimwanaume, that's nonsense.
This is the life of a man.
Why Malindi? Any idea why the A-list celebrities, politicians choose Malindi as a destination? Is it the sandy, spotless white beaches, the rhythmic, relaxing oceanic waves, or is it the great potential investment opportunity that Malindi has to offer? Dark Balance, we are here with a variety of projects from as low as 99,000 shillings. You get an eighth of an acre with ready title deeds. Book your plot today with only 35,000 shillings and get a free return air ticket. Be the next investor in Malindi with Dark Balance. Call us now on 0740 888 111 or 0740 888 222. Dark Balance. We promise, we deliver. Why wait? 20 Malindi.
The question this morning is, who is a traditional woman? That's the question. And when we talk about this conversation, we are referring from different areas in as much as the book is concerned. And this is it. I want to refer to the Economic Survey 2022, essentially, which was released in 2023. You will see that 40 to 50% of first-time marriages end in divorce. Second-time marriages, 50 to 60% of them end in divorce. But then there's another stat. 80% of the divorces that we're dealing as a country are instigated by women. Fine. So that's where we are in as much as this particular conversation is concerned. So now, how many households, according to that survey then, getting led or essentially carried by a single partner, either a father or a mom? It is 661,000, upwards of 200 in the next number. Oof, that's huge. But then you speak to majority of psychologists, they will tell you that most of the messed up relationships or marriages or people or adults that we meet with, the first question that you have to ask is, how was your childhood? And then we looked at that stat as well, that 90% of incarcerated men, there's one thing that stands out. Either parent was missing, but what stands out is that the father was missing in that relationship. So this morning then, we asked the question, why is the problem? Because women have decided it's not working out. 80% of those divorces are essentially because of women. So where is the problem? Who is a traditional woman? So we picked youth from across the divide or the country who are either approaching marriage or are essentially then getting courted for marriage. And we brought them to the set. And there are quite a lot this morning, and that essentially enriches the conversation. I would essentially introduce quickly from my left. I do have Alfred Amolo, who's President HUSA. He's going to introduce himself when that time comes to speak. I do have Fred, who's a SG Emeritus, MMU. I do see him in the house as well. I do have, by the way, I'm just going to use this. I do have Jim Walker, all right? Peter, you got to have a title. I'm going to come to that title as well so that we can talk about it as well. All right, I do have Vitalis Nyongeza, who's a youth leader. Fantastic to have you around. Guess what? We're going to come back to you and then table this conversation. On this side of the studio as well, today we do have ladies who are joining us this morning. All right, I want to introduce Ivy. Are you around? Yes, fantastic, yes. Then after that, we do have Judith? No? Cynthia? Yes, Cynthia, how are you doing? Fantastic. In fact, let me stop the introductions so we can get directly into the conversation. And I want to pick your sentiment, Cynthia. Hand over the mic to Cynthia. How are you doing? Let me start from there.
I'm doing great.
Fantastic. Could you define for us, and I want us to hit it quick and fast, who a traditional woman is? What is your definition of a traditional woman? Jump into it quickly, and then we pass the mic.
Yes, a traditional woman, I'll say, is a woman who still values the norms of the traditional aspects that we take as the traditional woman, take care of the family.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's it. Pass over the mic. Irene? Yes, fantastic. Irene Bumbui. Who is a traditional woman?
I'm not even certain if this mic is on.
It is on. It is on.
Okay, according to me,
yes.
I think a traditional woman basically is a woman who subscribes to what the society models for them. Takes care of the family.
Yes.
Makes sure that her marriage works.
Yes.
And so on and so forth.
That's it. That's a traditional woman. Pass over the mic again to Judith, isn't it? Wow. I'm going to get Ivy. No. Can you pass it over to Ivy? I think I'm going to get your name. That's fine. I'm going to learn the audience that we have. I'm going to come back to you. Ivy, who is a traditional woman?
According to my point of view,
yes.
A traditional woman is
yes.
that woman who is family oriented.
Yes.
Who puts her kids first. Who makes sure that marriage works. Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, that's
fantastic. All right, pass the mic to Sharon then. Fantastic. Omuro Sharon, who's the Deputy President, Multimedia University. Sharon, who is a traditional woman?
A traditional woman is a submissive woman, a yes woman,
yes.
one who doesn't question, doesn't challenge instructions given, does not have an opinion or does not stand for their rights.
Yes.
They always say yes to everything and are very submissive.
Okay, hold it there. Gentlemen, you're going to speak. You're not going to speak right now because essentially then you have the ladies in the building today. I want to hear the second sentiment on what they think a traditional woman is, then I'm going to come to you. Hold on. I'm going to start with you, Sharon. So let's postulate in the sense that men are only looking for two things in a woman. I'm going to start. It's going to get interesting. Number one, sexual purity. And number 2, submission. Done. Nothing else. Not your career, not your money, not your beauty, not your tribe, not your looks. All right? 2 things when it comes to looking for a partner to settle with. Sexual purity, submission. Now, a traditional woman, essentially, that's a postulate, is that she is sexually pure and she is submissive. I'm going to start with you, Sharon. You've said that a traditional woman is essentially a yes woman. So do you think that an upright woman that a man is seeking is a traditional woman? Let's start with you.
Well, not really.
Not really?
Yes, not really.
Why do you think so?
In the modern society that we live in today, men not only look for sexual purity and submission. That was then.
Hold on. Just leave it up. Yeah, we've already started in it. We're jumping in it. Sharon, hold your mic. I'm going to introduce Willis. What things to look for in a woman? She's saying they do not look for sexual purity and submission. If indeed today there was a gun to your head, I'm not saying it's going to be there. What are the things that you look for in a woman that you choose to be your partner? Something you can marry. Willis.
My name is Vitalis.
Vitalis, sorry.
The 2 things that I consider, number 1 is a woman who respects the husband.
Yes.
And a woman who also is understanding.
Understanding.
Those 2 aspects.
Essentially submissive. Because if you're submissive, you've got respect, you understand. That's it. So Sharon, won't you be wrong then to tell Vitalis that you're wrong to look for a woman who's respectful and understanding? Because that's exactly what you're intimating. That a man essentially is not going to look for those facts in a woman. Sharon, the mic is yours.
Modern women are also understanding and respectful.
Who's a modern woman, Sharon?
A modern woman is a woman who, okay, I'll say the difference between a traditional woman and a modern woman is their societal roles. A traditional woman will go to the river, fetch water, and do all those things.
Societal roles. Hold on.
Yes.
Societal roles. Have the roles for a man changed in the society?
Not really. Not really.
No. It's either you know specifically or you don't. Have the roles for a man. I can take you back to 1910 if you want me to list. I can list, all right? Vitalis right there knows very well that he cannot marry, number 1, until he's able to provide, protect, be the man. Social capital, capital. In fact, you're not going to look at him twice if he's not going to have money. Capital, power, right? Have the roles for man changed? They have not changed. Would you say so? They have not changed. So why would you sit here, Sharon, and say the societal roles for a modern woman? Is that not where the problem then begins?
Do these men accept women? Can they provide 100% all they will expect you to give 50-50 to the table?
Pretty much 50-50. We're going to have a conversation around 50-50. And at this point, I'm going to call for my producer then to open a video, number 1, for Michelle Obama when she was asked about the 50-50 state in marriages. We're going to look at that for reference. Good, Sharon. Pass the mic to Irene. Just hold the mic. Vitalis, pass the mic to Fred. Thank you very much. Fred.
Yes.
Indeed, if you're going to marry today, chances are, and I would like to believe that you come from a complete family. Your dad and mom are still together. You've been brought up in a family that is complete. Yes. Just confirm whether I'm right or not, that if you're going to get married today, like chances are that you're going to pick a woman who would essentially treat you like you've seen your mom treat your dad. Chances are. Yes. Isn't it?
Yes, of course.
So your mom essentially comes from an era that Sharon and Ivy, all right, would like to say a traditional side. Because when they were married, maybe in the 1980s, 1970s, 1960s, isn't it? That's a traditional era that the modern woman is saying, well, Societal roles have changed. I'm going to come back to societal roles. Today, what qualities are you looking for in a woman? If indeed you're going to get married.
To my point of view,
yes,
the woman I'm looking is the one who understands me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
And also respects me.
That's it.
And we can talk and agree.
Yes.
Not the one who wants to be ahead of me.
That's it.
But like we are in a fight.
That's it.
Yeah.
Submission, essentially.
Yeah.
All right, good. So I'm going to come back to you, Ivy. Here's the problem. I'm going to make you angry, and you can jump in, guys, because now we're in it. Gentlemen, I like to say that the current problem that we are facing about these divorces and single families and only fathers raising their kids and women raising their kids, we are not the problem. Women are the problem. But you guys are the problem. It now starts to get complicated. And I will say this, and you gotta now start defending yourself. Wow. Women, and I'm gonna pick the point for Sharon. Sharon, you're the one who said that. I'm not gonna put these words in your mouth. You're saying societal roles for a modern woman, that they've changed. But then Ivy, that's what I'm gonna say, that they have not changed. It's you who have been socialized differently. You've been told not to respect men, because you've been told you can become an engineer, just like Fred. You've been told you can have your money, just like Fred. You've been told you can do Simba's job, just like any other person. You've been told you don't have to submit, because submission essentially is never conditional. I'm going to come to that. There's no condition submission. Submission is a trait, is a personal trait that you grow up with. Traditional women have it. Do you agree that women are the problem? In fact, let me say, the modern woman is a problem, because then you see, Sharon is already subscribing to the fact that there's a traditional woman and there's a modern woman. Like we need to make the difference.
Actually, I do not know what a modern woman is.
Yes.
Because most of us come from the village. Mm-hmm. Universities mostly brought us here.
Yes.
And I think as a woman, you have to submit. Because women mostly offer submission, men offer love. And there's a woman I like listening called Adichie Chimamanda.
Yes.
And then there's a time she was saying that the society sometimes teaches women shame. Mm-hmm. They do not teach women. Okay, like we've categorized the roles.
Yes.
We made like cooking, washing, the roles to be done by women. And then you would wonder why the ability to nourish yourself should be someone else's responsibility.
Yes.
So I think to me, it's all about understanding each other, knowing that we are past gender roles. You can do anything, I can do anything. Mm-hmm. The fact that the idea of women are the problem, I think both parties are the problem.
In what way have men become the problem? Now, again, I kept on saying, we need to refer to the stats. 80% of these divorces that we're talking about, 40 to 50% of divorces in first-time marriages are instigated by women. It's the women who are deciding, it's not working for me. So how would you put a man in that problem as well?
When it comes to divorces,
yes,
I think Kenya as a society makes divorce become faulty-based. Mm-hmm. For example, when you look at the Marriage Act of 2014,
yes,
you're going to find there are 5 legal reasons for divorce. And if you allow me, I can state them.
Please, let's do that.
The 5 main legal reasons for divorce include cruelty, infidelity, mm-hmm. Mental illness.
Yes.
There is also, what do we call it? I'm forgetting the other 2, but when you go to the other 2, when you go to the court, you're going to find what mostly causes divorce is, they say it's finances.
Yes.
The ability of the inability of agreeing. These are the finances we get. This is how we are going to do with our resources. That is the main cause, but mostly we say it's infidelity.
Yes.
of which they say infidelity makes someone feel like their feelings were betrayed and so on and so forth. So I think women are the causes, but men are also the cause as well.
I'll be coming back to that. I want Jim Walker, I want you to be ready. Give him the mic, because that's why it gets now serious this morning. Here's where the problem then begins, all right? And I'm going to start. Could you hand over the mic to Cynthia? Cynthia.
Yes.
I would like to think that all you women are educated women, that you are in university, you are learning. Why are you in school? Let me ask you a question.
First, I'm in school to build myself.
To build yourself?
Yes.
All right? Do you agree to this fact? And by jump in, if I make you angry, jump in, because they're going to support now. Do you agree that a woman can't have it both ways? Build a flourishing career, Sharon, I see you looking at me, ni sawa, and have the perfect family, be a family woman. Men are looking for family women, isn't it? We do agree on that, at least now. Like, should workers then decide to get married tomorrow, he's not looking for a career woman, he's going to look for a family woman. Do we agree? We do agree on that basis. But then do we agree as well then that a woman can't have it both ways, that you can't have a career, all right, that is way flourishing, and have a family that is also way flourishing at the same time? Cynthia?
Yes, I think we all know, women know that the Bible says that women should be submissive, and the men should love themselves. And then the way men take it nowadays, like modern women are not submissive, and then traditional women are submissive. You can be both a traditional woman and a modern woman.
But that's what we're saying. Who do men find attractive? Is it the modern woman or is the traditional woman? Traditional women exhibit these values that we're talking about here. Number one, submission. Number two, sexual purity, which essentially then will be broken into other subsets, you know, understanding, hardworking, good cook, good family keeper, you know, all that. Then why we keep on saying modern? Who's a modern woman, Cynthia? Could you define who a modern woman is?
A modern woman, let me say, is a woman who values her career and knows her right, who you cannot surpass her right.
That's it. So do we say that the modern woman is the wrong woman then? For any man?
In some aspects.
In some aspects?
Yes.
All right. Ivy, take the mic, please. All right. Walkers?
Yes.
Here's the reality. Would you want, right now, probably you're dating, I don't want to say how it is, isn't it? Are you not comfortable as a man being the leader of the relationship?
Okay, thank you. I'm Jim Walker Peter, the president of Africa International University. So I think, let me first define who a traditional woman is. A traditional woman is someone who is associated with the traditional roles and has been confined to the society views and norms, whereas the other ladies said before.
Yes.
Taking care of the family, the household chores, and just generally what the society expects to you. But a modern woman, someone who has redefined the roles. And as you've seen what is happening currently, we've seen human rights fighting for the space of the women, the two-third gender rule, and what is really happening. For me, first of all, when I vied as the president for the first time, I was looking for a deputy position. And at that time, I remember I supported a lady. And so this question of, are you really, Jim, a woman? Men will ask that. So as a man, there are things I want to agree with.
Yes.
That we are really looking for a woman that is respectful, is submissive. And I think it's...
Are those qualities that you find in a modern woman? Submissive, respect. Because submission can't be 50-50, which majority of the women are tipping for. Submission has to be maybe 80-20, 70-30, 90-10. But then if you're going to stand for the modern woman, Walker, then you're saying, I do not need a submissive woman.
I think about modern women, they are just the same people depending on who has decided to change and move to the other side of the river and who is left, because
is submission taught or it is nurtured into women?
I think it is nurtured.
It's nurtured into women.
Yes.
Good. So if we're going to talk about a modern woman is a woman who's gone to school and be taught about what Sharon is referring to. Modern societal roles for women, which by the Sharon are not there. It's either you are a woman or you're not. So if you're going to say that indeed they are nurtured, then can we say that modern women are essentially not women that we can actually marry?
Not really, because let me ask you, Mr. Simba.
Yes.
Because a modern woman, we have women who have grown up in the village, and they come to Nairobi, and they have changed from becoming a traditional woman to maybe a modern woman. They've kept the roles, the values.
Not saying that a woman who grows up in the village is essentially a traditional woman. That's not the definition. True. The definition of a traditional woman is a woman who knows a role, who knows a space, who knows that she can be above a man. If indeed she is going to be a woman in a relationship. That's exactly what we're saying. That she understands she's submissive, sexually pure, that you can have a woman who's grown in the city, who's been well nurtured to be a traditional woman. That's what we're saying.
But remember, you were saying, we talked about nurturing this.
Yes.
Environment is very key when we talk about a traditional woman and a modern woman. The reason why a traditional woman has been associated with growing up in the village, yes, or that kind of a space is, yes, because of the kind of environment. Because you come to Nairobi and it's a different metropolitan area. And
do you want to see an example from Ivy? Give Alfred a mic. All right, Ivy. Now, this is why it now starts to get serious. Are you ready to give up on your career? Because there's also another aspect in that. For you to be a family woman. Remember, before you answer this question, you've got to school all the way, maybe for the past 15 or 16 years, isn't it? Up to where you are right now. Are you ready to give up on your career progression to build a family?
Very well. From my point.
If it's yes or no, it's going to be either yes or no.
No. When it comes to career,
yes,
I will take a different approach.
Mm-hmm.
That is the hybrid approach.
Uh-huh.
I'm a traditional woman.
What makes you think that you're a traditional woman?
Because I would love to submit first.
You love to submit.
Yeah.
So there's a condition in that end. But then Ivy, we are agreeing that submission is nurtured into a woman. So there's no switch. The same way a man doesn't have a switch to provide and not to provide. There's no switch. This guy is here. By the way, if in the next 5 years they have no money, you can't look at them twice. Let's agree on that. Let's agree on that. They don't have a switch. Our roles have not changed, Ivy. Remember that. But then your role as a woman is to submit, but then you introduce a condition to it. Alfred, hold on. What scares you about getting into marriage or dating currently?
Okay, thank you very much, Simba. Mm-hmm. What will scare me or what will drag me into marriage is because nowadays most of our ladies, yes, are materialistic.
Done. Hold on, because we're coming back from this break with your microphone. It starts from now. You see, whatever he's saying is that if he doesn't get that money, if he doesn't get that capital, that power capital, you guys are not going to look at him twice. So he's got no condition. He knows very well that before I take that step into marriage, my God, I've got to get the money because then I'm out. I'm ruled out. But then you guys introduce a condition. Yes, I can be submissive, but what do you think is going to make him look at you when there's a condition introduced? Essentially, you can be submissive or you're not. That's essentially what the science of submission says. Once we come back then, Ivy still has the mic, Alfred still has the mic. We take a tiny little breather because we do have an entire 1 hour then to weigh in on these issues. Who is a traditional woman? Remember, the question that Ivy has to answer is that can she let her career go for the sake of becoming a family woman? Because once we come back, then the question is going to be, are you ready to get married? And do you understand exactly what it takes to get married? Oof, presidents in the house, youth in the house. Once we come back right here on the morning drip, the question is going to be, who is a traditional woman? Good morning.
We as Novena United Circle are a society that is able to provide a platform for business startups by providing financial aid to members and creating a platform to accumulate their savings. We look for small business entrepreneurs who are starting a business venture and provide the best opportunity to expand our business niche and turn it into something big. For more information, call us on 0768 757 956 or WhatsApp us on 0734 832 430. Novena United Circle. Tuungane pamoja.
Sensei Institute of Technology is the home to the best practical courses, giving you a hands-on experience to handle the world. A place to build. For you to join us, ensure you have your national ID card and be ready to enjoy the ride. Sensei College, my skills, my future.
A man, a symbol of strength, power, and leadership. What does it take for a man to meet society expectations of provision and leadership?
Lazima uwe mtu wa bidii, lazima ukija kuoa lazima uwe ni provider. Wewe ndio unatoa kila kitu.
In our weekly episode of Born a Man.
Kusurvive kwa shule ilikuwa ni noma. Yeah, getting something to eat bado, especially in my last 2 years ilikuwa ngumu sana.
Moving from State House Road to Kahawa Ndani, where now they came back to be hosted.
We embark on telling stories of what it takes to become a man in today's society, like it has never been told before.
I know men, we are cowards. Because tunaambiwa watu wakiiga tu kufa kimwanaume. Kufa kimwanaume, that's nonsense.
This is the life of a man.
Hi, and welcome to Tujenge Home. Your #1 show when it comes to all things architecture, real estate, property development, interior design. You get it right here on Tujenge Home. When the food is ready.
You want to serve them?
Dinner is served. Yeah. Let's go. Let's go.
All right. Let's then continue with our conversation of who a traditional woman is. And Alfred has a microphone, and Ivy as well has a microphone. All right, Alfred, you're talking about how a woman would essentially look at your material power.
Simba, if you read the Holy Book, that's the Bible.
Yeah.
It is there, and the Holy Bible says that a woman must be a subject to a man. A subject. Mm-hmm. That means hata ukipika yeye coffee, analia siku mbili, anarudi. Because she must be a subject to a man. Mm-hmm. And that can never be changed. Secondly, the problem we are having currently with our ladies is one. Mm-hmm. These people love money. Money. Currently, if you approach a lady and you are walking and you don't have a car, they will look you like, I don't know, warthog.
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have money,
it becomes easier. It becomes easier for you, yes, isn't it?
So, Our ladies, currently they are not submissive.
Yes.
To men. Because they think they are ever right. They think that they are above you.
Yes.
And thirdly, they don't want to submit.
That's it. Pretty much. Just hold on to that then. Let me come back to you, Ivy. You hear what he says? That indeed, when you look at a woman nowadays, women are essentially being socialized differently from the way our mothers and grandmothers were socialized, and that's where the problem begins. Do you agree?
Okay. At some point, I agree with what he's saying.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe because of the women you've interacted with. Not all women are like that.
But why do you ladies always assume that all men are the same?
The same as well. Because if we're going to talk about homogeneous aspect, then we'll say all men are also the same.
Not really. It depends with what am I submitting to? What are you bringing to the table?
But as a woman, naturally, you are born to be submissive.
And a subject.
So why would you flick it? Why would you flick the switch? That's what we're saying. That's what we gotta answer. Because naturally we are saying any woman is born submissive. Men and women are different. Let me give you another stat. As you pass the mic to our new, is it Judith? Fantastic. Welcome to the conversation. Here's the thing. Fred, you're in a science course. Yeah. All right? And this is how we're gonna do this conversation. I want also you to weigh in on this. You are in a science course. How many women are in your class?
Actually, there's a way we normally describe.
Yes.
Sometimes we categorize all of them as boys.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
But they are normally few.
Yes.
You find like two.
Fred, turn up.
In a class of 40 to 50,
yes.
You might find women are around
3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
Good. I want to postulate something as well. The way we do not want to agree to facts. In this country, if you look at the results for KCPE in 2022, you'll find that women actually performed really good. In terms of the top performers in this country, you'll find that majority of women also scored really good as to men. In fact, we celebrate headlines when we find that women have outperformed boys. All right? But then we transition to university. You would like to think that majority of these women would pick science courses, but they do not. They do not. Or they pick them, but in a class of 40, you can see, whatever Fred is saying, you'll find that 3 to 4 women are the ones who are taking these courses. Is that not a testament to the fact that women and men are different? By nature, women and men are different. Which essentially then says, Judith, that when you're looking at a man, you gotta look at him as a completely different being to a woman. That's why, and this is the postulation that I'm making, that whoever is socializing women is currently looking at even the pay structure. Now, why are men still earning more than women in this country? Why? It's because you're going to find them in this category. Yeah, in this country, the thing that gives you a career, money, is this courses in science, STEM. You guys do know that. You can't pretend that you don't know. You do not know that. Mechanicals and all these things. So when we come here and start telling women that, you know, you can do what a man can do, but then you cannot, Judith, because majority of the women are not in the science courses. So a man graduates, but then you find that a man is earning 4 to 5 times higher than a woman earns in this country on average. But then we're telling these women, no, it's got to be 50-50. Then don't you think, Fred, we're getting it wrong from that perspective?
That's why, and there's something I forgot.
Yes.
Like when we join, we are normally 4 to 5. But by the time we finish,
yes,
we are almost none or one.
None or one, which essentially tells you one thing as well, that we are different. Which then begs me to ask you this question, Judith. By the thank you very much for joining us this morning. Don't you think then that the problem is not the men? It is the women now who are getting socialized to compete with men.
Okay, thank you for the question. I believe that in society, whether you're a woman
Yes.
or a man, you have the ability to choose the path that you want to take.
Yes.
Therefore, it is one's choice to choose whether they want to do the STEM-related issue or not.
Let's get it right. No, Judith, you can't go there. Let's get it right. No, Judith. I mean, it's telling you, when they join, there are more. But when they clear, there's 0 to none. Maybe 1 to none. It's not a choice. It's just a difference. That women are more interested in things. No, sorry, in people. But men are going to be interested in things. That's the way our brains are wired.
There's a very simple answer to that.
Which one is it?
The society gives pressure to women. The pressure to
guys, you can't let Judith say that.
No, that's the reality.
Just put her on the spot to talk about this society that currently girls who graduate higher than boys in KCPE are given not 2 tech-up science courses. Why is that?
Let me try to explain my answer.
Yes, Judith.
So in society, you find that people put pressure on women in that you should be a caretaker at home, you should not really advance because there's a man at the end of the day. So that's why you find that a lot of women are dropping out of schools with the mentality that, yes, I'm going home, I'm going to be a housewife, then my man is going to take care of everything, which is toxic, because as a woman, I believe that you also have your life, you have your career, you have your dreams. That is what we should follow. Therefore, I cannot blame women submitting to men that, let them do everything, but the pressure is on the society, actually.
Judith, the submission that we're talking about here, and guys, let's get it right. And this is where, and you can fight me in whatever way that you want. The guys are here and they're going to agree. Submission is not being a yes woman. That's exactly what feminists, modern feminists, are telling women. The submission is being a yes woman. No, submission is understanding your role as a woman. Femininity starts by understanding that as a woman, number one, let's put it like this. And you can take a vote. Give the mic to Vitalis Nyongesa. Do you agree that a class 6 boy, you put them in a ring together with majority of the women on the set here today? Let me pick a class 8 boy. Do you agree that if I give you $1 million bob, okay, Nyongesa, and you're going to see the difference that we're talking about here, and do not be irritated. You can come back at us with any comeback. If I give you $1 million bob today to bet on who wins a fight between a class 8 boy and any of the ladies that we have on the set here today who are adult women that we're talking to, if I give you $1 million bob to bet, and then I tell you the bet to the class 8 boy winning is times 10, the bet to the woman winning is times 19. I'm giving more odds to the woman than the boy. Where would you put your money? Let's start from there. You, Nyongesa.
Well, first of all, before I respond to your question, there's something that I want to respond. Number one, I want to disassemble the idea of Sharon. This is Sharon, not Sharon, Irene, saying that she doesn't buy into the idea that we have modern and traditional women. Yes, we do have, because she mentioned something. She said very clear that they are from the village, and when they come to Nairobi, they have to now get the new life that is in Nairobi. Yes. So that means that she has already agreed that yes, there's a modern and there's a traditional woman.
Essentially in how Nairobi women would behave, isn't it?
Exactly.
That's it. That's it.
And when I came to this debate, first of all, I'm very happy because first thing Sharon said, women have to be submissive. That's something that I wasn't expecting from this debate. But the fact that they agreed,
they do agree.
Have to be submissive.
Yes.
Then you also asked a question, Ivy.
Yes.
Can you change your career to go and become a wife?
That's it. I'm going to move back.
That is not a question of saying yes or a no. It's definitely a yes.
A yes. That's what it means. No, guys. We're going to come back to that. Yes, you can jump in. It's a yes. Because either way, whatever idea we're presenting here is, do you understand your role? And that's what I started. And maybe by the way, but let me just jump in. Judith, since you have the mic as well, I ask that same question. Sharon, you're going to take the mic next, and Irene as well. Here's the thing. Do you agree that as a traditional woman, you do know very well that you can't have it both ways. At this point, I want us to cue this particular video of the former First Lady for United States of America, that's Michelle Obama, really weighing in on what it's actually there on our folder on 24th on Wednesday. Just open up that folder, open it. It's a Morning Drift on 24th. It's right there, so we can play it so that we can actually get to talk about it. Do you agree that as a traditional woman who understands a role, you can't grow, number one, your career fully and your family fully? Do you agree, Judith?
I don't agree.
All right, let's cue the video so that you respond onto that. Right now, let's listen to what Michelle Obama said in this NPR interview.
Understand that marriage is never 50-50. And, you know, you sort of wonder how that idea kind of got out there. I have found that if you stick with it, you know, over the course of your entire relationship, you may have 50-50. I had to take my foot off of my career gas pedal, never putting on the brake, but slowing up a little bit. Those are the natural compromises that are required. And I feel bad when I see young people giving up on their relationships because there are periods.
Azed, Judith. So here you are saying that you do not agree. And when she spoke, she rattled a lot of women across the world that it's never 50-50. She's right there confirming it to you. And for her to grow up a family, she said, I had to take the foot off my career. So?
Okay, naturally,
yes.
Women, we are naturals. We have compassion,
yes.
and we have this kindness in us, and that is natural.
Yes.
Therefore, it's just by nature that we can be traditional women. And at the same time, we can also work on our careers, because we women, we have the ability to multitask actually. And it's not hard for a woman to come from work or from school and come back home.
Does your money matter when a man decides to marry you?
Not totally.
Is that a yes or no? There are not two ways in it. Does your money matter when a man decides to talk to you and marry you?
To me, it will matter, but maybe to the man it won't.
The question is, does your money matter to a man?
Yes.
Who wants to marry a president? Would you want to marry a president?
Of course, yes.
Yeah?
Let me respond to Judith first.
Yes.
First of all, I want to define you as a traditional, as a modern woman.
Thank you very much.
I want to define you as a modern woman.
Yes.
Number one, you have said it very clear that we have empowered women to a point of whereby you guys now feel like now we can be the same.
Yeah.
We cannot be the same.
We can't be the same.
We cannot be the same.
Do you agree that we can be the same? Men and women cannot be the same.
We cannot be the same.
Then why? Yes, Cynthia, take a microphone, please. Why are we disagreeing? And after that, Sharon, and then you're going to be next. Why do you think that it's okay to tell a woman that in a marriage you're going to present 50-50?
Yes, the thing that we need to understand first, why did women transition from being a traditional woman to a modern woman?
It's because you were socialized differently.
Yes, let me answer this according to my view.
Yes.
We transitioned because when we were submissive, men took us like nothing. They did not.
Where is that? Where is the evidence? And Cynthia, you got to speak with evidence, by the way. You represent the voice of an educated woman. Where is the evidence that at this particular point, men decided to take women for granted?
Why do you think that they started empowering women? Because they realized that there is a way women were being undermined. They were traditional women, but they decided to stand up and speak for themselves because men were not speaking for them.
Can you give Walker the mic? We are not saying that a woman should not be empowered. We are not saying that. We're not saying that. A woman should go to school. Judith, Sharon, a woman should go to school, have a career. But who is this who's telling women that that career, that school, that job would matter to a man, would matter to a family? It doesn't. That's what we're saying. Who's this telling modern women that Dr. Judith is the best woman that any man wants? No. Men are not attracted to a woman who's got her career going on. Because to a man, you are another man. You're going to make a decision that I would like to make. You're going to start telling me what to do to this. Hey, take the mic. That's what we're saying.
Just a rebuttal.
Yes.
Let me say that personally, I wouldn't give up my career for the sake of marriage.
Essentially, then, you're not a traditional woman.
Whatever.
Yes.
But
no, you can't say whatever.
I think.
Okay. Do you want to get? Okay. Let's start. Maybe in 5 years or 3 years, time, would you want to get married and start a family?
Of course, yes.
Would you want? Now, listen, guys. This is what we're gonna get up. Would you want to have a guy who's traditional, who provides, who's got capital, who leads the family, who essentially has got power to drive you to success as a family? Is that what you want? No, it's a yes or no. You can breathe on it.
There's no way you're going to limit us. There's no way you're going to limit us to yes or no.
No. But just listen. But just why? All these things I've said right here, in that order, a man who's got money, who's got the ability to lead, who's got the ability to provide, who's got power, both social and capital, is that not what you would want?
Why would a man be interested in a career woman?
Yes.
But they are not interested in them going to work.
What?
Because the thing is, what was the point?
No man would be, I'm saying, no man would be attracted to your career. No man wakes up in the morning and says, I want to marry a nurse, I want to marry a doctor. A man wakes up in the morning and says, I want to marry a woman.
What was the point?
That's what I'm saying.
What was the point?
I want to marry a woman.
Yes, you don't check their career.
You don't check their career.
You don't know them at the first appearance.
That's it. You don't start saying, I want to marry a woman who's got 1.2 million in earnings per month. We don't have that. So why do you women then sit there and start thinking?
It's a question of what was the point of taking me to school to study from I don't know pre-unit and up to university?
What is the importance of studying? Guys, you guys are university.
The problem is you're biased. You won't let me drive my point. The thing is, what was the point of taking me to university?
And I told you you're going to start hating me. I love it now.
What was the point of taking me to university? To be a housewife, to be doing the household course that I would have done even when I would just be a class 8 dropout. What was the point of doing that?
Could you tell her what she's getting wrong?
Seriously.
Yeah, I think she's getting something wrong because she's focused much on the career thing other than seeing what a man sees at the first appearance.
That's it.
We don't check women that, hey, he looks like a doctor, hey, he looks like a nurse. But I think we check something more specific.
We check something more specific.
The thing is, men are interested in what they see. Women fall in love with what they hear. Mostly. The thing of money becomes second. But actually, there's someone I fell in love because of the messages or the poems he used to write for me. Not necessarily that guy had money. No, but his words. I fell in love with... You see, men fell in love with toes, fingers, hair, I don't know what.
Natural.
Because men are weird.
We are not really weird.
Men are men.
Men are just men.
Men are men. You can change it. Can you give the microphone to Sharon? Because I've got that question now coming up. This is the question. Why do you sit there? Okay, let's start like this. Why are you in school? You're the vice president for MMU. You've got, what course are you in? Let's start from there.
I pursue a Bachelor of Applied Communication.
Applied Communications. You see what we're saying? The majority of women, all right, would flourish in art courses. You're going to be a very nice communicator, by the way. It's proven. Majority of women flourish in those careers. And it's a fact you can check. Good. Why are you studying?
Because my parents thought it wise to educate their daughter, and because I want to be a knowledgeable woman.
That's it.
Yes.
Knowledge. And also have your career going on. Like you can provide for yourself, you can fend for yourself.
Yes.
But the ultimate goal for education is to empower a human being. That's it. If you're going to answer that question like what we're studying, it's just to empower. You can't walk around not knowing. Not being a special, not having a speciality in something, isn't it? Then let me ask you the next question then. Do you think that when I find you attractive, the first question is going to be, what course do you study? Out of all the men who've approached you, and I know you're an attractive young woman, majority of men are going to find you very attractive. Has any other man asked you, what do you study?
Yes.
How many in 10?
8.
No,
Really?
Sharon, you're lying.
Really?
I am not lying.
And at what point in your conversation does that come up? Is it the first top 10 questions? No.
No.
It's part of the conversation. Maybe on the second, third, fourth, fifth, probably date of you guys getting to know each other, isn't it?
Yes.
Which shows you then that men do not care. They give little. They do not. Like what you are, your money, what you do to a man who's interested in you, it just maybe in priority, it's maybe number 20 out of 40. All right? So why then would you sit there and say that a modern woman should think about her career? In relationship, don't you see that these guys here don't care about that? So can't you see that that's where the problem begins?
I have a question.
Yes.
Are we concluding that it is because of the careers women pursue that there is a rise in divorce cases? Is it the careers?
Could somebody answer that? Yes.
I want to
just,
say something.
then you give the microphone to Fred as well,
Yes.
isn't it? No, not biased. We gotta say whatever it is. All right. Let men answer. All right.
I think I want to say something.
Yes.
Our president, His Excellency William Samoei Ruto, said something.
Yes.
If we don't Africanize, we perish.
Mazen.
And modern women have been associated with the Western cultures and things. They change from our Africa traditions.
Yes.
And so I think the issue is most of the women today, they discuss about they see just around the career, how to remain financial independent.
Yes.
But they forget really the role of a woman, and they lose it from that focus.
Is answered. Give it to Fred.
Maybe I want to talk about the girl empowerment.
Yes, Fred.
The way the society is designed.
Yes.
It is a man to provide.
Yes.
And protect. And you can see statistically, for example, if a woman is earning 100,000 and a man is earning, let's say, 30,000, you will see a man is more useful to the society, and he will touch and provide to many people in the society. But a woman will only concentrate on building herself. So that's why we don't look for the financial part in a woman, irrespective of whether she's earning or not.
Yes.
Will still provide.
Will still provide. Yeah. That's it. That the innate, Judith, I see you shaking your head because the microphone then is going to come to you now. I just want us to again give it to Ivy. I'm gonna still go to the next part of the conversation then. Are we in agreement? Are we in agreement that a traditional woman is essentially the woman that a man is looking for, in this sense that a traditional woman exhibits qualities that every other man is looking for? Number 1, submission. Number 2, sexual purity. And number 3 then, a subset of that, you talk about understands her role, is a clean woman, is a woman who essentially knows that I can't be ahead of my man in whatsoever. Ivy, in 1 minute before we take this break, because once we come back then it goes to hot fire, because I've got questions here that majority of you are going to weigh in.
Well, as I said, being a traditional woman, I think that is what the men want.
Yes.
Yeah. Because I would love to see my man eat the food that I cook.
Now we're talking, isn't it? Look at them. Now we're talking.
I would love to scratch his back
until
he falls asleep.
That's it. Sacrifice for him, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
All right. Be there for the family.
Yeah.
All right. And when he needs you, you are there. The strong bond in the family.
Well, I think how I treat my man, or how I would treat my man in future, is my biggest flex. I don't want to be a modern woman.
Whew, guys, we're getting somewhere. Guess what, Fred? Hold on. We're going to take this break. Because once we come back now, we're getting into hot fire. I'm going to read for you a couple of statements here. Gentlemen, you're going to react. This lady is going to react as well. We're going to move the mic up and down very, very fast. The question is, who is a traditional woman? Are the women the problem when it comes to majority of these numbers that we've seen here, that 60 to 65% of marriages, second-time marriages, end up in divorce. 40 to 50% of marriages, first-time marriages, essentially end up divorced in this country. And above 661,228 households currently are led by a single parent. Once we come back right here, we do have men and women and youth in the studio who are essentially then weighing in on this subject.
Sensei Institute of Technology is the home to the best practical courses, giving you a hands-on experience to handle the world. For you to join us, ensure you have your national ID card and be ready to enjoy the ride. Sensei College, my skills, my future.
Usiwahi cheza na mboga yangu. Na unafuata nani? Usisikuone ukinifuata. Nimekwambia huna shares kwa hii kuku.
You got the roof, man. Hebu kwanza rudi ndani ufresh hiyo choo na make sure umespray.
Julie, kwani wewe? Hii tumbo yako mimi najua inaweza ingiza kila kitu. Hata chuma nikishiaga nikupea hata plastic najua utakula. Kwani leo kunaendaje? Kuna kitu sielewi.
Kabisa Mluya. Yaani umeamua kulala uchi.
Sasa kama hakuna ile nguo inanitosha unataka nifanye aje?
Because you are fat.
Sasa ukiongelea mimi ati fat. Na Julie tutasemaje?
Kuja.
Karibu mtazamaji kwenye kipindi cha jamii na itikadi.
Ni kitako, tuna mengi.
Mapenzi yanapoanza watu huitana bebi na majina mengine matamu, lakini baadaye penzi linapogeuka na kuwa shubiri,
mtu anafikia kwenda kumtafuta mke mwingine.
Itakuwaje?
Yule wa kwake nyumbani labda hajamridhisha.
Ni sawa ama vipi Maliki?
Dadangu, wanaume ni kama maembe.
Huyu mwanamume atakuja abadiliki.
Mwanaume mwenye wanawake wengi hata katika uchumba, kwenye ndoa ataendelea. Mtu na tabia yake hawachi. Ile umbo la kike likishaanza, kila kitu kishaanza kuwa mahali pake.
Ningependa kukuona.
Sijaenda mahali ambapo mimi nilisikia mtu ati huyu alikuwa shujaa, alikufa katika mstari wa mbele wa ndoa. Sijawahi sikia mimi.
Siku ya leo tuko katikati ya jiji la Nairobi na tutakuwa tunazungumza haswa kuhusu mswada wa bajeti ambao unapendekezwa na Rais William Ruto.
Kwanza alisema anapunguza mambo gas, kila mwananchi aweze kupata. Gas inatoka 500 ama 300. Okay, nitapata gas lakini sina unga, nitapika na nini? Heri nikuwe na unga, nitakota hata kuni nipi.
But I think according to me it's beyond the reach of many Kenyans.
Mimi kama mwananchi ndasema economy imeenda juu. Askari imepanda, mafuta ndio hiyo, kila kitu ukienda kwa duka kila siku imepanda.
Jina langu ni Wamba Wahisi na haya ni makala ya bunge la mwenyeji.
Who is a traditional woman? That's the question that we're asking this morning, and we do have both sides of the conversation. All right, now let's get then into the quick fire session right here. This is exactly what we're going to do. I'm going to throw a line, then after that you guys will stand up and then either defend it or agree. Okay? Good. I'm going to start with you, Ivy. It's a good thing that Fred has a microphone, so pull the microphone any time that you want to come in. You can stop me if you feel like, indeed, this guy is saying something that I do not agree with. Good. All right, here we go. The only reason a man decides to marry a woman is to start a family. Nothing else. Let's start. Ivy, do you agree?
I don't agree.
Why?
Because a woman has a lot to bring on the table, apart from family.
Which is what? Guys, Fred, the only reason a man would decide to marry a woman is to start a family.
Yes, of course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you can say that thing that you don't want to say. Say it now.
No, I don't think if a woman has a lot to bring to the table, apart from being submissive.
That's it, done.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah,
done.
that is all.
All right, you guess that?
Yeah.
That the only reason a man marries a woman is to start a family. Pass over the microphone to Sharon. All right, do you agree? Disagree?
Of course, I agree. Fully
That's
agree.
it, done.
There's nothing else. You
That's
come
it.
here to sire children.
That's it.
Yes.
Sharon, do you agree? Disagree?
I agree.
Done.
Perfect.
All right. All right. Do you agree? Disagree? Give the microphone to to Walker. Do you agree? Disagree?
I don't agree.
Why do you not agree?
Because if at all it's about family, where you came from, there was a family, and then family means different to different people.
I mean, I'm going to pose the question again.
Carry on.
Please listen to it. Mm-hmm. The only reason a man would decide to marry a woman is to start a family, no other reason.
Companionship, rather.
That is part of the family.
That's part of
I
the family.
agree totally. You know, a family entails a lot. It brings a lot to the table.
Yes. Yes.
We are focusing so much on women emasculation, of which it should not be the conversation right now. It should be...
We are talking about a family. A woman is part of that family.
Mr. Simba,
yes.
I think a definition of a family is very, very huge.
Yes.
And it brings a lot. It carries a submissive thing,
yes.
the financial, having peace. You can't be rich, but if you don't have peace. So remember what we said, we look into women. If you are not submissive, it's a no. So the only reason is to start a family.
Isn't it? All right. Do you have any rebuttal? Because the rest of, I want Judith and Cynthia to also weigh in on this. All right, give the microphone to Alfred. Cynthia, take the microphone. Do you agree that the only reason a man would bring you to his fold, to his house, is to start a family with you?
I don't agree.
What other reasons would a man marry you for?
For financial support.
No,
How many of them?
Not really.
Yes.
Simba.
But they're saying no.
Yes. Because
but they're saying
Simba.
no.
Simba.
Yes, Alfred.
You know, I think my sister Cynthia is getting it wrong.
Yeah.
Because the primary issue of getting into marriage is to start a family.
That's it.
Yes, it
and
will.
Secondly, we normally pay dowries to the other side.
That's it. That's what I'm saying.
Financially stable.
It will.
Which financial?
It's the thing.
Simba.
Cynthia, you lose it, by the way. Quick fire.
I'm not losing it, and I know.
All right.
It will depend on the man. If the man know and puts it on his head that he should provide,
yes.
I'll come knowing that the role I have in that family is to submit and understand my husband. But if the man is not ready, because men have that mentality that we love money, and it's not the reason. So we are going there to marry. We are stepping into marriage, knowing that they have the mentality that we love money, and that is not. So I want to prove to him that I love him. I can submit. I can do all those things that he wants, but I don't love your money. So I'm not materialistic. I am a modern woman, but I can be a traditional woman.
Could you pass the mic to Judith? Yes, Alfred, because I want to respond to that as well, because the next one is coming, and it's going to start back as well. So hold on to the mic.
Okay.
Judith, would you agree that the only reason a man would marry you, call you his wife, is just to start a family with you. All the other things follow, not top.
I don't agree. And I would like to disassemble whatever he has said about it's them who pay dowry. Actually, nowadays, there are women who pay dowry for their husbands.
Where?
I have seen it. Of course, I cannot use personal examples, but it exists, right?
Born,
you can
Simba,
agree with
Simba,
me.
Simba,
Yes.
just a minute. Since I was born, I've never seen any lady taking a dowry.
I have seen.
It has never happened.
I have seen. This is my personal experience in Kenya. In Kenya.
What I know, Simba, is only, okay, just allow me to mention this.
Yes.
That's if we go back to the Indo culture.
Yes.
It's always happened. It only happened on the other side.
That's it.
But to our side, I've never seen.
I have seen it.
Pushing cows again, taking to the
and it's not cows, by the way.
I like the way
she paid using cash.
You know, Simba.
Some men marry women so that they can be financially secure.
Hold on.
Men have money too. We can all agree to that.
We did
Simba. Okay, I think we men, we did a mistake by the time we came up with the idea of empowering ladies.
Yes.
But this idea was to bring ladies on the table. Not to put them aside as not part of the society. But currently you will find that the ladies whom we tried our best and sacrifices to bring them on the table, they are the same people now kicking us to get out of the table. And that's why nowadays you will see that most of the boys are not empowered.
Nazar, Judith, still on the same perspective, yeah? Yes. Take the mic. Yes.
On these men who say they are not going to marry women who are going to bring nothing to the table. So what do you want us to bring on the table?
When a man says,
it's a duty of a man to provide for the family because the man is the head of the family.
We do agree that. Yes. We do agree to that.
So the work of a woman is to take care of the family.
Could you give it to Sharon as well? Yes.
The work of a woman is to take care of the family. The work of a man is to
provide for the family in a normal, functioning, traditional sector.
She's getting it wrong.
That's it. All right. Could you rebuttal that?
I think the only way to solve this is, as you are empowering that woman, ensure you also empower yourself. That way, we are not at par. You become higher than me. It is the only way we will submit. I cannot submit to a man who is lower than me in society.
Okay, hold on.
It cannot work.
Hold on. Just hold on to your thought right there. All right? And I know, Ivy, you're going to speak next. This is actually my next question that I wanted to put to you. All right? So could you hand over the mic to Walker either? We're starting the journey back. She said something very important. I'm going to read it to you, ladies. All right? It's a problem essentially in divorce. Listen, when a woman gets her money, she thinks of how not to depend on a man. When a man gets more money, she thinks on how to invest in the family. In a nutshell, when women grow upwards in the society, they think more of themselves and independence. When men grow in the society upwards, they think about family values and investments. Do you agree? Do you disagree? Because that's what she's saying.
Simba.
Yes.
I want to agree with you.
Yes.
And say that this morning, even from your name, allow me use your name.
Nazema.
Simba, the lion, replacing the lion in the jungle.
I'm telling you, man, it's kind of hard, isn't it?
Absolutely impossible.
Yeah, it's impossible.
And I want to tell you something.
Yeah.
Because men are generally the lions in the house.
That's it.
And even as I serve as the president, and I do have a deputy president who is a lady.
Yes.
But sometimes you have to stamp authority. Because as a leader, there are things you have to do. And the umbrella of providing, ensuring finances are there, investing in the bigger picture, confining to the values and the norms of the society is really essential to a man. Whereas the lady, we've seen it, and it's very evident, they invest in a very thin space and to themselves. So I really agree with you.
Agree. Give the microphone to Nyongesa, please. Do you agree that once women get empowered, all right, the more and more you empower a woman financially, the more and more reasons she will find not to depend on men? Agree, disagree?
I agree, but not men in general. That is why I have said, as you empower me, ensure you also empower yourself, so that I don't surpass you.
Can't you see then? That's exactly what we're talking about. That at any point You surpass me. I'm out of the picture. That's what I'm saying. So you're essentially agreeing, Sharon. There's no two way in it.
It is what is currently occurring in the modern society. I cannot submit to someone who is lower than me.
The problem we are talking about here, and by the way, the problem we are talking about here, that's you saying, I cannot be a woman. A woman is naturally submissive. Am I wrong?
Allow me to respond.
Yes.
First of all, I think your name is Cynthia, right?
Yes.
The lady in white.
Mm-hmm.
It was so awkward for you to say that you get married so that you can have financial support, meaning that where you are, you're suffering. Your parents cannot provide you the financial support that you want.
Yes,
so
sir.
you want to get married to a man so that you get the support.
Yes,
Is
sir.
that what you meant? Two, Simba, you played a very good clip there about Barack Obama.
And Michelle Obama.
Yeah, so the question is, they need to take a vote. Whether are they agreeing 50-50 or not?
Yes.
These women, they're not getting the reason as to why we need to empower them.
Yes.
Once we empower them, my good friend Sharon has said, she cannot be submissive
to a man
who is built. Who said that? Come on.
It is natural. It is very natural.
What do you mean by natural?
Do you agree? You know, Sharon, do you agree? Let's make base for this conversation. Do you agree that in a natural setup, and we've gone through the differences of men and women. Men are attracted to how your pretty nature, nothing more in you. Do you agree that a woman, in a natural setup, she's born to be submissive? Do you agree?
Yes.
Yes. Because why? We gave you the example. A class 8 boy right now can fight you to death. Your brain is wired to look for security. That's true. If you give me $1 million right now to bet and lock you in a house with a class 8 boy, you fight to death, I'll give my money on the class 8 boy. And I'm very sure, 98% that it can beat you. So your brains are looking for security. You're looking for refuge. You're looking for leadership. So why would you then turn around and then make a different case? It's not natural.
It is 2023. We don't fight physical fights. We fight...
It's an example that I'm giving you to show the difference between men and women. Your brains are naturally going to look for security in a man. That's what I'm saying.
So I will look for security in a man who I feel is higher than me.
That's it. But then why is that switch for submission? Why are you changing it on condition? Don't you see that you want to be a woman when you want, and when you don't want to be a woman, you become a man?
Simba, let me just respond to Sharon.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm posing a question to you.
Mm-hmm.
Right now you get married to person X, a man. He is above you in terms of financial capabilities. So when you get money in the next 20 years, but still in the same marriage, do you have to quit that relationship? Because now
that's what we're saying.
You are more powerful than a man.
That's what we're saying.
If in 20 years I'd have doubled my money, he should have also doubled his
money.
It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that.
Let's have Ivy speak, and then I'm going to start from Judith as well. Ivy, do you agree that when you empower a woman more, when a woman becomes empowered financially, she finds a reason not to submit to a woman?
Okay, first of all, Simba, allow me to contradict with what Cynthia said.
Yes. I knew you guys were going to jump in on that. Yes.
She said that you can be a traditional woman and you can be a modern woman as well.
Yes.
I think you can't be both.
Absolutely.
Do you agree? Do you agree? You can be both.
You can't be
you
both.
Can be both a traditional woman and a modern woman. It's impossible.
It's impossible.
They've agreed. How? Just hold on. Ivy, clear your point.
Okay. I think being a traditional woman and being a modern woman is like virginity. You either have it or not.
Oh, you don't. That's what we're saying. And the men agree. Hold on. Men agree.
So, in line with that, I would like to invite you to read this book, Sis Don't Settle by Faith Jackins.
Yes.
I think it will enlighten you a lot.
Absolutely.
Fantastic.
Thank you so
Good.
much.
All right, I want you to give the microphone to Judith now, because I'm going to go in the next set of questions, all right, so that we do agree. There's no, and by the way, let me just make it clear. On it, just hold on. You still have the mic, isn't it? We're going to start afresh again. All right, here's the thing. Now, the next set of a statement that essentially I want to put across to you that essentially defines the entire of this conversation. Good. Here it is. Men and women are different. The problem is that women do not want to understand a man.
Yes.
That is where the problem begins. Do you agree? Do you not agree that you have failed to understand the man, a man, biologically, physically? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Quickly, before we go to the next set of questions.
I strongly disagree. This is because actually it's men who don't understand us. Men tend to see us as sex objects.
Yes.
Men see us as women who will just give birth, cook, and that's all.
How would you respond to 80% of divorces that we're talking about in this country? The 40 to 50% of first-time marriages are started by women. It's not the men who are saying it's not working, it's the women who are saying it's not working.
Because men think that they can just give us the bare minimum and we are going to agree to it.
Judith, it's the women who are saying, not the men. Listen, 80% are instigated by women. It's the women who are saying it's not working. So it's women who are thinking it's not working. It's on the men. Men are fine, it's working, we're fine.
Yes, it is because...
Yeah.
Simba.
Let me tell you something.
I just want to bring out that point. Yes.
Because we women, we love it when men care and love us.
Yes.
But men think they're just going to give us the bare minimum and that we are going to submit to it. You want us to submit to you, but what are you bringing also to the table?
Alfred?
Simba, first of all, allow me to congratulate my sister.
Ivy.
She's the only iron lady on the other side. Yes.
All right.
And she's the only one who's very keen on this matter.
Thank you very much for noting that.
My sister Sharon,
yes.
I think Sharon will just allow me. She's the best definition of the women, she's the best definition of the women who are leaving their house or their family.
Yes.
Because maybe the husband whom she was married to, maybe currently is suffering maybe facing financial drought and crisis. Because to Sharon, what is value is money and power.
Microphone should be directly.
What Sharon's value is money and power.
Yes.
Sharon doesn't value the family. She believes that if she gets married to me, I am Olo today, and maybe I'm employed, earning maybe $500,000, and maybe in the next 2 months, that job is not there, she won't be there with me.
She'll walk out.
She walks out.
She'll walk out.
And maybe at that time,
maybe
tuko na mtoto, and now she'll be a single mother. That's why we have a hike of single mothers.
Or parenthood within the country, the one that we're talking about, by the way. To put another 661,228 households in the country currently have single parents.
Because currently they will say...
Yes. Yes.
Have you seen how someone who has more money than the other party, how he or she treats the other party who doesn't have much money? And I think that's why we tend to walk away, because there's a way you guys treat us. You guys say that we love money, but do you even give us enough money? So if I have more money right now, trust me, I'm going to walk away, because even when I didn't have, you didn't respect me. So right now I have power.
Question. If this guy provides for the family, why would you walk out? If this guy provides for the family, the kids are eating, you're not suffering, you're living in a good house, your kids are going to school, you are provided for. If the kids are happy, why would you walk out?
I might not walk away, but again, a woman who has money is powerful. One day a man will wake up and he doesn't want me anymore.
Yes. In that sense, isn't it? Just Alfred, quickly, because we have 6 minutes for this conversation. I want you to hand over the mic to Walkers. Yeah, just one point, and then I'll hand it over, and then hand over the mic to Cynthia Judith, so that now we can get to the next set of questions.
Judith she's speaking from both sides of our mouth. Because on the other side, she's saying that if you have money, I will be there. On the other side, she's saying if you don't have money, I won't be there. But what I want to say is our women must remain traditional women for us to marry them.
That's it. That's the conclusion right there.
In conclusion, you need to have your money, and I also have to have my own money. And if I have more money than you, I'm going to walk away.
Simba, there's a point here.
Gentlemen, that's a threat. Yes.
Simba,
run into it.
Your question.
Yeah.
They don't understand men. And what is a family? The union of a man and a woman. So I think they're getting it wrong.
Yes.
Because as a family, you need to grow together, develop together.
Yes.
And even if she's talking about the financial development,
yes,
it needs to come as a family. Because the man grows, the woman grows. But if you are on your own and on your way, then I think something is missing. And then we refer back to your question and say they have refused to understand the man.
The man. That's it. Yes. Give the mic to Fred, please, so we move into the next set of questions.
And how do you expect me to grow when I'm only washing your clothes, when I'm only washing the dishes, when I'm only cooking? How do you expect? You see,
could you,
Simba,
yes.
listen.
Could you make it clear?
Listen.
I mean, could you? I hear you, because every time, whatever we're trying to come up, and I said this is a learning session.
Sure.
We're saying a family woman is not essentially a woman who cleans and cooks and cleans and does all that. No, let's run away from that. That's exactly.
You don't want us, you people don't want us to get into careers.
Simba.
You want us to, you want to marry us, we use our money. You don't want us to get into bigger careers. You don't want us to excel in our careers.
Could you jump in?
The thing is,
yes, Irene, please, clear your point.
The thing is, these men, you will see them posting
Yes.
that if you want a man with a car, show me where you've parked yours.
Yes. Fine.
Those are the kind of men we are having right now. Actually, those are the kind of men we have.
Just hold on. Just hold on.
If they can only be true to their conscience.
That's it.
Those are the kind of men we have.
Could you respond to it quickly?
I
Yes.
to put something from home.
Yeah.
I think she's forgetting the pivotal role played by the man in a relationship.
In a relationship or in a family.
Yes.
Yes.
So I want to ask them one thing. Will you go for 6 packs or 6 cars?
What will you go for? I mean, it's a decision you can make
Yeah,
right
it's
now.
just a simple question.
Please,
Will you
do
go
that
for
right
6
now.
packs or
We
6
only have
cars?
5 minutes. Do that right now.
I wouldn't go for 6 packs.
That's it.
6
then.
cars.
6
Simba.
cars, isn't it? Yeah.
Simba, do you have to talk more?
No, please
the
do
answer.
not. Please do not. All right, Fred. Yeah. You're going to say 1 minute before we jump in. Yeah, you.
Just 1 minute.
Yeah.
I think next time we invite us, Simba,
Yes.
we need to talk about the definition of the term empowerment. They're missing it out.
Empowerment. That's exactly what we talk about, isn't it? Fred.
Okay, I want to dismantle what the lady said when she said.
Yes. That is a Judicial, isn't it? Yeah.
Women don't understand.
Men.
Women don't understand
women. Yes.
It is a total lie. Because you see, it is very hard to understand women because they make decisions based on their emotion. And so it is very hard to understand them. And also most of the time they play victim.
Yes.
Oh, Adefanye has not done this.
Yes.
So it is very hard to understand women. And also the way the society it is designed,
yes,
it is a man to empower himself,
yes,
and build a brand so that he can be seen out and have option or a good taste of women.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Final question. I mean, I would want to give you that time.
I stated it very clearly.
Can I ask the last question?
Listen,
so that you respond. Yes.
I stated it very clearly that women fell in love with what they hear.
So what they see.
Not what they see. Men fell in love with what they see.
So
me seeing you sit back,
I'm not going to allow you to make that statement because then it realizes that you are not really aware of your situation. That's it, because that's what I wanted to ask the next question in line to that. You can't say that women fall in love with what they hear. That's a lie.
That's true.
You can't lie to every other person here. In this sense.
Words of your mouth.
Let me ask the final question because essentially it's going to answer you.
But just a rebuttal.
You have the mic.
How would they understand us when they already fear us?
But hold on.
Men fear women. They fear women.
But hold on. Just Cynthia, can I ask the last question? And I want you to give that mic to Irene because you're next in line, isn't it? All right. But please, let me ask this final question, guys. Now, and she has the mic. And you guys are going to take the final round. And be quicker, they only have 3 minutes. Women should only marry this is the line. Traditional women should only marry high-value men. High-value men are the people who have social capital, and every other thing that essentially would make that man a leader in the family. Now, the question comes in. All right? High-value men, they only deserve a traditional woman. Do you agree? Do you not agree? A high-value man only deserves a traditional woman. Please, we have 2 minutes. You got to react to that immediately.
A high-value man is relative. That is relative. What is a high-value man to me might not be a high-value man to someone else.
High-value? No, the rules are there.
That is relative.
No, it's not relative.
It is.
A high-value man is a man who's got capital, power, and social skills and all that. That's what we're saying. It's a high-value man. He's not a poor man. That's it. Could you answer that question quickly? But Irene, if you don't understand it, you can say, I think I need to research on that, then come back later, because we'll call you back on it. Yeah, Cynthia, please, take over the mic. Irene, we only have 3 minutes. Yeah, we only have 3 minutes.
I'm not going to hand over the mic before I answer the question.
Yeah.
They're not only entitled to traditional women, because what they want the rest of us to go to whom? That is the question.
Is it up to them or is it up to you? That's what I'm saying.
But for me, I think a high value man is relative.
Is relative. Yeah. Good. Can you give the mic to Cynthia? Please, 15 seconds. The last time you're going to speak, I'm getting somebody who's killing me on my ear.
Okay,
a high value man only deserves a traditional woman, and women, traditional women, also deserve high value men.
Okay, we need to understand that even if that we transitioned to modern women, there are also modern men who wants us to bring something on the table.
Is there something we call a modern man? I keep on agreeing there's nothing like a modern man.
Yes, there are. So,
men are men.
So what men should understand that we are not under their feet.
Yes.
We are under their arms and we are beside them to submit.
Yeah. Could you give the mic? Could you give the mic to Judith? We want to clear. We want to clear. Judith, please, 15 seconds. A high value man only deserves a traditional woman, which takes a modern woman out of question.
Let's stop generalizing.
Yes.
I think everyone knows what they want.
Yes.
Other men want traditional women, others want a mix, others want modern women. So I cannot generalize.
They're right here. They're going to start responding. Please give the mic to Sharon as I cross over to the side. 15 seconds, Fred. A high value man, a man with money, with power, with social pull, with everything that essentially that makes him a high value man, only deserves a traditional woman. Please, 15 seconds.
Yes.
Done. A high value man only deserves a traditional woman.
It's a yes, because a high value man can now make this girl look the way this man wants.
That's it. Please, 15 seconds. A high value man only deserves a traditional woman.
I support and go back to the first point and say submissive and peace.
That's it. All right. Our high value man only deserves a traditional woman?
Absolutely yes.
Absolutely yes. Let's come to you, Sharon. 15 seconds that you can say that a high value man deserves a traditional woman.
I concur with Judy.
Yes.
Everyone has what they want. Let's not generalize.
Let's not generalize. Ivy, a high value man would only be attracted to a high traditional woman, therefore they deserve each other.
Again, as a traditional woman,
yes.
Is a yes.
There's a yes. Guess what? Here's the thing, yes. The yes have it. So it's up to Sharon then and Cynthia and Judith and Irene to really start looking into this topic. I say this, and we say this, that these discussions are not essentially for us to come in and have fun. You guys are at that stage where essentially probably in 2-3 years, we're talking about majority of you getting into the relationships. The men have spoken. They might be right, you might agree, you might not disagree. Fine. But can you study the subject? Can you talk to a marriage counselor? Can you talk to any other person who really looks into relationships? How should I approach a relationship? Then guess what? Judith and Sharon, come back. Let's do it again. I think you'll be somewhere. Guess what? It's been a tedious conversation, I'm telling you. The men have fought, the women have said. For us now, it is to say, thank you very much for participating. All those guys who were calling me biased online, I'm not. I was just, sharing a point. All right? Guess what? I'll call them again so we can fight again for longer hours. My name is Simba Elijah Charles Kiage. Tag them online when they join us in the studio this morning at Lookuptv across all your social media platforms. I am at Kiage Simba. I'll meet you tomorrow for another edition. Good morning.
We as Novena United Circle are a society that is able to provide a platform for business startups by providing financial aid to members and creating a platform to accumulate their savings. We look for small business entrepreneurs who are starting a business venture and provide the best opportunity to expand a business niche and turn it into something big. For more information, call us on 0768 757 956 or WhatsApp us on 07